Hi everybody, I'm Heinz Strauss and welcome to the Mycon Now YouTube channel, where today we will be featuring this extremely affordable Proton Saga. But the question is it worth it? Now at this price point, you would think that there's not going to be a lot of features worth mentioning, but I'd like to show you something that really surprised me. You've got rear park distance control even on the standard model. And then you've got a pretty decent sized boot, which not only in itself is pretty large, but you can actually fold the rear seats down and you can pack in longer items that extends into the cabin. Let me show you. So you just drop the rear seat back and voila. Pretty decent space in here. You know, so impressive for a sedan. So what's this cheap sedan like to drive? Surprisingly good. It returns a very decent, I know the spec sheet says 6.6 liters per 100 Ks on the combined cycle, but I've been averaging 5.8. That is super impressive. And then I have to mention that legroom in this Saga is very decent. It feels well made. The plastics are, obviously they're not premium, but they don't feel like some afterthought. They feel pretty good. The steering wheel is not as hard as train tracks. The plastics on the sides are not, they're cheap, but they're not like so hard that you kind of can't imagine this thing not creaking over time. It's well made. Ergonomics are good. Driving position is pretty good. The aircon blows cold. And you know what? The little 4-pod in here, 1.3 liters, 16 valve with variable valve technology is pretty good. It delivers 67 kilowatts and 117 Newton meters of torque. And that's very, very decent numbers. And if you factor in the fact that you've got the practicality of a sedan, you've got the fuel consumption, which is below 6 liters per 100. And I'm sure that on the open road, you're going to get close to like maybe 4.8 or in the 4s somewhere. And that's seriously impressive. So you've got power steering. You've got a dashboard that looks pretty good. Reminds you of, gives you some Suzuki vibes. You've got a Bluetooth radio. You've got USB input. And remember, this is the standard. This is the entry level. You've got electric windows for the front and the rear. You've got electrically adjustable side view mirrors, ABS, and 2 airbags. That is a very, very decent offering at this price point. If you consider all of these features in a car at this price point, you cannot but be impressed. As of this day of filming, you can buy this brand new for $179,000, or in demo, of which there are plenty, including this model, for $169,000 Rand. And are you ready to get your mind blown? You get a 150,000 kilometer warranty. It's nuts. That's 5 years. 5 years and 150,000 kilometer warranty. In a vehicle that's the same price as a Suzuki Espresso. And it's a lot bigger. I'm totally surprised. So Proton offers service plans, which are not included, by the way, in the retail price. 2 years or 30,000 kilometers for 5,500 Rand. for 36 months, 45,000 kilometers for 7,500 Rand. And that's actually the one that I'd get. And it goes up to the 60 months or 90,000 kilometer mark for right about 22,000 Rand. But that's the one that I'd give a miss. I think if you buy this, you take the 3-year service plan, and that is decent. I cannot see this being an extremely expensive car to maintain. We had a look when we opened up the bonnet. That was a mechanic's dream. There is enough space for you to do anything and to do it efficiently. So what's it like to drive? Can you live with this? Yes, of course, definitely. Handling is pretty decent, but that doesn't surprise me. When we opened up the bonnet, we saw a cross strut that obviously helps with torsional rigidity of the chassis. And that also helps improve handling. It's got 4-star safety rating. I mean, all at this price point, it just blows your mind. And another thing, you can actually see the range on the what looks like an LCD display. It doesn't look cheap. Yeah, it's small, but it's well designed. Even in the standard model, you can actually jack your seat up or down. It's crazy. Those are things that makes this car really worth considering, especially if you want to start the sideline hustle of, I don't know, e-hailing. No, that's not e-cigarettes. E-hailing, like, I suppose, book a ride online. I don't want to use the name for in case I infringe on some intellectual property rights. In-city driving is awesome. The gearbox feels well put together. The clutch is nice and easy to use. It's soft, but not too soft. The biting point is at just the right place. The engine feels punchier than what the 1.3 liter would suggest. But I think that's also because it's got variable valve technology and it's not a particularly heavy vehicle. Open road driving is very, very, very decent. It's stable at higher highway speeds. Overtaking ability is quite good. Wind noise is not all that bad. Although you do hear it, it's not obviously never going to be as well insulated as an S-Class Mercedes or anything like that. There's not a lot of competition for new vehicles at this price point anyway. And certainly not a lot that offers all of these features as standard. So to be honest, as a business car, fleet, small families, and of course there's an automatic version that only comes in the premium. Still cheap, 199,000 Rand for the auto. And it'll be a lacquer car for the elderly as well. So yes, there is certainly space in the market for something like this. The question just is, will it sell? I actually think it will. And my main reason for saying this is where I think that the Chinese actually did all the newer brands entering back into South Africa a favor. People are no longer just bound by the traditional manufacturers that basically had their way in the South African market. People are open to considering other vehicles. And there is really no better example than GWM, Haval, and all the others. So Proton, they've done you a favor. They've prepped the people to be open to considering new brands.